here at the Ontario airport going to Louisiana, and it's kind of interesting. We're at the Ontario airport, and we have to wear a mask because it's still during COVID time, and we're just seeing what it's going to be like going on an airplane during COVID. In an odd way, our flight to Louisiana was one of the best flights we ever had. We had to wear masks the entire flight, and we only got water and pretzels for food, but we had a ton of room on the plane. There were several rows that did not have passengers, so we could stretch out as much as we wanted to.
On behalf of Southwest Airlines and your flight crew, I'd like to welcome you to New Orleans. So we'll take our captain just a few moments to taxi into the gate. So please remain seated, seatbelts fastened, luggage to the aircraft has been brought to.
We are here in the New Orleans airport.
Louis Armstrong Airport, if I'm correct.
Yep. Seeing what's open and what's not. Most of the stores and restaurants in the airport were closed, but there were some places that were open. Getting through the airport was fast because there was not many people coming in or going out of the airport. It was kind of strange seeing all the empty lines. The Uber out of the airport was relatively simple. Normally when I'm in a new city, I like to ask the Uber driver if I can sit in the front, but out of respect for space, we sat in the back of the car with our masks on. Even though we kept our distance, we had a very friendly Uber driver, and coming into New Orleans, we saw some interesting sights like the Superdome.
Yeah, right here.
The football stadium? Yeah. Yep. Also coming into New Orleans, we saw some of the cemeteries. Almost all the cemeteries in New Orleans are above ground due to the very high water table in the city. Coming into the French Quarters, you immediately notice the distinct architecture. The houses are close together and the streets are tight, like they were made for only horses and carriages, not cars. Well, this has been an adventure already. Our hotel, it's not open. There was not enough guests at the hotel, so we got sent to a different hotel. So we're going to check out this other hotel and see what it's like, and hopefully it's okay. Okay. From the park. Yeah, it looks pretty cool, this building. The hotel was interesting because it had a kind of a narrow entrance, but it opened up into a big courtyard, and we had to search a bit to find our room. Should be on this side, right?
You said it was on this side, but it went from 106 to 108. 102, 104, okay, so the even ones. So over here?
It should be one of these, it should be that door over there, maybe? Underneath the stairs? 113? Yeah, that's 113. You think it's upstairs?
So, 109.
I'm looking, before I go back up.
Yeah, I'm not going upstairs without seeing this.
They're all boarded up there.
Yeah, no. I think around the corner, I think this is one more block. One more little row.
Okay.
115.
I think they're going up. So in 103, Louis Armstrong's room, it says, this room is dedicated to memory who stayed in this exact room.
He was visiting the Jazz Museum in 1965.
Okay. I always pegged him to the 30s, but 1965. Okay. Supposed to go to the Andrew Jackson Hotel, but that was closed. So we are here in the St. Pierre Hotel, and we're next door to the room where apparently Louis Armstrong slept.
I bet you Louis Armstrong slept in a lot of New Orleans hotel rooms.
Yes.
But whatever. And this room is dedicated to Willie Gary Bunk Johnson.
Okay.
Who was a trumpeter in the early 20th century and enjoyed a revived career in the 1940s.
Okay.
They have a whole entire museum of trumpets.
Once we found our room and we got settled down, we decided it was best for us to start exploring the French Quarters. So it was an interesting experience as we walked the streets. I have this image of a lot of crowded streets, music, and drunk tourists, but most of the people that we saw were locals just doing their thing. It was a very mellow scene, and probably not the typical
the
French Quarters
streets,
experience, but I liked it a lot.
Exactly which restaurants are still open and which ones are not. We're doing good, thanks. Here in the French Quarters, looking at, looks like the back of an old factory, going back up towards Royal Street. Love all the balconies here. We're here at the Royal Praline Company. It's closed right now, but pralines are definitely a thing here in New Orleans. Hopefully we'll get to try some later. At the New Orleans Police Station, which used to be the state capitol a long time ago, and we were doing a Patton Deniski Internet Street Tour here at 3.
Frommer's self-guided walking tour of French Quarter.
And right now we're supposed to be admiring these balconies. And there's actually music going on. Okay. I was wondering if we'd hear music. Okay, so let's head on. We're here at the Latrobe Building, which you can see his monogram up here in the balcony here. It's aptly yellow. He was an architect here in New Orleans. It's aptly colored yellow because he died of yellow fever. And so we continue our tour down Royal Street. We're at the Supreme Court of Louisiana. And across the street is the famous Brennan's, which is probably one of the most famous seafood restaurants in all of Louisiana. Very famous for that state. It looks like it's closed, but we're going to go up. There's a dinner menu on there, so I'm curious to see what it looks like. I'll wait for the car to pass by.
1955, so it's as old as my parents. Restaurant royalty almost immediately. It changed hands, but stayed in the family in 2013. We opened in 2014. And currently there's normal.
Here we can get some Fleur de Paris. I think it's funny that all the mannequins here are wearing masks, and you see all the pretty long dresses, very stylish.
But this
Lots
is
of
a hat
pink.
shop.
Yeah, it's a hat shop. What do they call that? Like, I forget what-
Milliners?
A milliner's shop.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Very decorative, big boxes to keep your hats in. We're here over by Preservation Hall, which is right over here, about 7 o'clock at night, and we're looking at the artwork of Rodriguez here. Many different modern art exhibits here in New Orleans. Are here on San Pedro Street,
St. Peter Street.
St. Peter Street, which is normally where Preservation Hall is. Well, Preservation Hall is still here. And normally it would be packed with people trying to line up to get into that boarded up building over there, but of course it's closed because, hello, this is COVID times. So we're just gonna walk on by and listen to the crazy motorcycle gang. We're here on the corner of Dauphine and Orleans to this old house from the 1700s, the Jean Lafitte house.
Well, it was built in 1836.
Uh-huh.
In 1839, Jean Baptiste Lafitte, I'm probably butchered that pronunciation, bought it and added the romantic cast iron galleries. In the 19th century, a conspicuously wealthy Turk, supposedly the brother of a sultan, rented the house. He brought an entourage of servants and beautiful young girls, all thought to be stolen from the sultan, and threw lavish high society parties. One night, screams came from inside. The next morning, neighbors found the tenant and the young beauties lying dead in a pool of blood. The mystery remains unsolved. Local ghost experts say you can sometimes hear exotic music and piercing shrieks.
Ew. Okay, there you go. These days, most of these streets are paved. But right now, they're paving this one, so you can kind of see what it would look like back then. It would have been a dirt road. Just kind of an interesting viewpoint, what it would have looked like back then with dirt.
1726.
Okay.
8 years after the founding of New Orleans. But now they've done other research and they think that
They have older buildings.
that so much of the building was destroyed in the 1788 fire. You can't really call it that 1726 building anymore.
Okay, fair enough. Casa de Don Manuel Lanzos.